Well, it took a little bit, but we're finally back at greatness again, because this is a great episode for many, many reasons. Why? Let's discuss. What's up? What's happening? What's going on? Welcome back to Animation. What's your fan anything and everything animation? Welcome back to our Phantom February 2 marathon, and welcome to Flirting with Disaster. In my opinion, one of the best episodes of the season. This episode is great. This episode's fantastic, and it is a very important episode story-wise. So, I don't really have much else to say to lead into this one, so let's just dive right in. Sam is bored with Tucker's continuous explanation of the various functions of his PDA inside the food court at the Amity Park Mall. Valerie and her friend Star sit at a table next to them, where the interaction between the two sets of friends is anything but kind. When Star asks where Danny Sam's loser boyfriend is, both Sam and Valerie jump to his defense. Okay, that's funny. Valerie then asks where she is, to which Sam answers that he's busy. Immediately after, Danny Phantom crash lands on their table as he battles with Technus. Why? Why Technus again? We literally just had him not that long ago in Identity Crisis in the same season. Technus is a cool character, yes, and Rob Paulson, as always, does an amazing job with the voice acting, but why Technus again? Is he the favorite of the creators or something? Because I swear, Technus has had more episodes in this show than most other ghost villains in this show, outside of maybe Ember. I mean, Technus is cool, I like him, but why him again? Why not, a new ghost or something? It feels very weird that he's in here again for the second time in the same season. No, third time, because he was also technically an Ultimate Enemy. Goodness gracious, man. Apologies, I was taking a sip of coffee. It's still very early in the morning and I want to get these reviews done so I can get done the movie reviews I was supposed to do weeks ago. So apologies if I'm rushing a bit. But yeah, Technus is cool, I just don't know why he's here for the third time in the exact same season. Technus easily escapes by taking advantage of Danny's emotions, particularly when he gets angry because Valerie gets injured by Technus. She's unable to fight because her father took her ghost hunting gear, following the big reveal at the end of Rainstorm. Technus makes his escape hiding inside Valerie's cell phone. There he witnesses Danny and Valerie's interaction and decides to use their emotions for his own gain. Later, the students of Casper High are at Axion Labs, recently bought out by Vladco, on a field trip. Inside, Damon Gray gives the tour, but briefly stops to chat with Danny about his daughter and tells him to keep all the ghost-related matters away from her. Meanwhile, Tucker makes note of a space jetpack, the X-23 booster rocket, able to launch a single person into space in 2 minutes, as well as the Mega Cybertron hub computer, which is linked to a satellite computer above. A computer so powerful that it can control every computer in the world. It is in space to make it much harder for anyone to take over or get to. Yeah, I think you see where this is going. Valerie takes this time to sneak around, but Technus one-ups her by leaving her cell phone, entering the main computer, and trapping her inside the room she had entered. Valerie's ghost hunting suit comes crashing down and wreaks havoc. Danny flies off quickly and fights as she exits. Damon enters, immediately sees the mess, and finds Valerie still stuck in the room. She wonders how the mess is created, but her father quickly pins the blame on her. I mean, makes sense, it was her suit. Technus, meanwhile, needs time to crack the 10,000-digit firewall code to gain access to the main computer, so he plans to distract Danny with Valerie. Back home, Valerie is punished by her father, though she insists that she didn't wreck the lab. Grumbling in her room, she gets an online instant message from Danny. Danny, meanwhile, is chatting with Sam and Tucker, wondering why Valerie was silent as they fought each other. He cuts the two off when Valerie instantly messages him. The two end up chatting all night and get to know each other better. Back on Technus's earlier dialogue, Tucker's PDA acting up, and the fact that both Danny and Valerie received the first message, it is clear that he orchestrated the chat. though it is not clear whether he set them up and then let their conversation go naturally, or if he controlled what each saw. I would suggest he let them just talk naturally, because if he tried to control everything, it probably would have came off as suspicious to Danny. If the latter is the case, he did give them true information, as Danny does indeed want to be an astronaut, and Valerie is a 9th degree black belt. At school the next day, Danny tries to defend Valerie, while Tucker and especially Sam continue to express concern over his company with her. Valerie later defends Danny while Star criticizes him. You see the contrast? They then meet Danny in the hallway, while Star leaves. Valerie asks him out for lunch. The two have a romantic date together, cute, with Teknis playing a silent role in keeping the two involved, all while Tucker and Sam spy on them, the latter in obvious jealousy. Her emotions turn worrisome when Tucker finds out Teknis is around wherever Danny and Valerie are. His PDA acts up whenever a ghost is around, leading him to conclude he's pushing the two together. They try telling this to Danny, but he merely laughs it off, after which he expresses that he really wants to be serious with Valerie, much to both Sam and Valerie's shock. And Valerie was spying nearby in a bush. Before they can carry on more conversations about Teknis, Sam spots Valerie eyeing them from afar and quickly covers up, stating if Danny is going to be with Valerie, they would accept her as well. Danny leaves his friends while Valerie walks to the two, hugging Sam for finally accepting her, which is rather painful for her. Her as in Sam. As Danny walks to find Valerie, he encounters Teknis operating Valerie's ghost hunting suit like he did earlier in Axion Labs. Valerie sees Danny being chased by her own suit, so using whatever arsenal she possesses, a branch, a milk carton, and her keys, she distracts the suit long enough for Danny to go ghost and completely destroy it, now that he doesn't need to hold back because Valerie's not inside the thing. Danny flies off once this suit is destroyed, leaving Valerie to see what a dangerous threat Danny Phantom has become, thinking that he was trying to destroy her, where obviously it wasn't the case. She later uses video from the school security camera as proof that she was not the culprit behind the Axion Labs incident by showing it to her dad. With the truth now revealed, the suit destroyed and Valerie risking her life to save Danny, Damon apologizes and forgives her. Back in the Fenton household, the trio concludes Teknis is planning to rule the entire world by taking over all of its computer systems via the satellite. Danny, however, is more concerned about Valerie and decides that before he can deal with her, he first must deal with Teknis. In his own words, take him out once and for all. As he makes his way out, Jack Fenton barges in, wanting to have an awkward private father-son conversation because he found out Danny has a girlfriend. It's that. It's the exact conversation you think it is. In the kitchen, Jack gives Danny some advice in love, ultimately giving him a class ring to give to the girl, going so far as engraving the name Sam on it, thinking she is Danny's girlfriend. Again, planting the seeds of what's going to happen later on in Season 3. Danny denies it, which Jack only laughs it off, saying that he's clueless. That night at Axion Labs, Danny gives Sam the Fenton phones to talk with, as well as the school ring to hold on to. Sam mistakenly reads the engraving upside down. Oops. Inside, Danny, while invisible, spots Valerie having an awkward father-daughter chat with Damon. She expresses that she likes Danny enough to give up ghost hunting, an idea which Danny is more than pleased about. Sam then talks to him via the Fenton phones, and he flies off while the Greys wonder what the noise is. They find Danny taking the booster pack. Damon tries to stop him while Teknis, seeing all this and declaring he needs more time, uses his technological skills to give Valerie a brand new suit, before departing to the satellite, which he completely possesses. Hold on, I gotta take a drink. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Danny takes the jetpack and a space helmet, then blasts off into space, something which he is rather excited about because he always wanted to be an astronaut, which Valerie then follows suit in her own suit, much to her dad's dismay. In space, Danny has to fight off both Valerie and Teknis, the latter slowly starting his invasion of Earth by taking control of computer systems in New York, London, Japan, and a bunch of other places on Earth. Valerie manages to capture Danny by the rims of her hoverboard and electrocutes him, causing him to accidentally shoot his ecto-rays out, knocking her unconscious. Angry and shocked at what he's done, Danny overloads the jetpack and sends it toward the Teknis satellite, where it blows up on contact, and thus saving the world. Valerie awakes from her unconscious state, tries to find Danny, but then flies off home, unaware that Danny, currently invisible, is clinging to the side of the hoverboard as a means to get back to Earth. The next day, Danny tells his friends he's going to give her the class ring, officially making them a couple. Valerie finds Danny, and after Tucker and Sam, the latter a bit reluctant, walk off to give them privacy. She explains the two can only be friends for now as their ghost hunting life is complicating current matters with their relationship, unaware that Danny's leading the exact same life. She gives him a kiss on the cheek before walking off while Danny sits down, visibly upset. Sam comes to comfort him and he gives her the ring to hold on to once again. Valerie sadly watches from afar before changing into her new suit and flying off. Meanwhile, Tucker has another set of rejections from a couple of girls, both of whom seem more interested in Danny. And that's Flirting with Disaster. It's a great plot. I kind of like that they actually had a love story this time between Valerie and Danny, and it wasn't just, little scenes here and there. It was actually the whole episode. And the ending, while sad, is setting up for good things to come later, so... And also, it's the explanation of how Valerie gets the newer suit that we see towards the end of the show. So, yeah. It's a pretty wild, pretty interesting story, but it's a cute romance, and unfortunately, it just didn't work out. But episode-wise, the plot's great, and even though I am a bit sick of Technus being overused, I still think this is a really great episode. Absolutely. And the story's great too. The sharp writing's back. This is a great episode. Now for continuity and trivia, then we can give the final verdict. Danny's remarks on wanting to be an astronaut date as far back as the first episode, Mystery Meat. Nice callback. In this episode where Tucker mentions that Danny better not forget his and Valerie's anniversary, due to her being a 9th degree black belt, is a reference to the episode Prisoners of Love, where Jack forgets his and Maddie's anniversary. It is also mentioned in Public Enemies that Maddie is a black belt. In this episode, Valerie obtains a new ghost hunting suit from Technus to replace her destroyed suit, which was originally given to her by Vlad in Shades of Grey. Tucker was the first boy to have a crush on Valerie since noticing her recent interest in ghost hunting, and he told her Maddie and Jack Fenton are ghost hunters too, which made Danny and Sam both livid in Shades of Grey. And finally, Damon Gray is still upset that his daughter's a ghost hunter, which he found out in Rainstorm. And now for the 2 quick facts of trivia. First episode to premiere and be produced in 2006, and the second episode after Memory Blank where Jack appears without Maddie. Don't know why that's a trend, but it's weird. So, that's the synopsis, that's trivia, that's continuity. I love this episode. It is arguably one of the best of the season. It is very important story-wise because it makes the divide between Danny and Valerie larger than it's pretty much ever been. And it's a cute little love story that unfortunately just doesn't have the happiest of endings, which I applaud them for the realism. And the action's pretty good. It's one of the first times we see Danny fighting in space. And Valerie's new suit is really cool. Like, no offense to her old one. Her old one is neat, but I really, really love her newer one that Technus gives her. So, yeah. That's all my thoughts on Flirting with Disaster. Final verdict for this episode's an easy 9 out of 10. One of the best of the season. A very enjoyable episode. Cannot recommend it highly enough. And with that, we're done reviewing Danny Phantom until tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned because we have a lot of catch-up reviews to do today and a special Day 1 review as well. So you still have about 4 or 5 more videos to look forward to today. But as for those of you that just watched my Danny Phantom reviews, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for micromanagement. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm going ghost!